All right, so this is our project 1 for the younger group. We are going to be doing matzah plates. You will need a ceramic plate that looks like this. They can be bought at the dollar store, or if you have one handy, or you have old china that's hiding in the basement that you've never used, this is a good way to use it. You will also need some Sharpie pens, and then you will need the word matzah in Hebrew. So we got a good look at that? Thank you, Lee. Okay, so what the project is you will have the kids draw a square on the plate using the brown Sharpie, and then they fill it in with the yellow Sharpie, and then they have to let it sit for about 5 minutes, and then they can go back in and draw the little dot lines all the way down to make matzah, and then they write matzah on top. If you're wondering if I made this plate, I did not. My daughter Rivka in 2nd grade did this one for me. She's going to be my examples for the younger group. So if going back to this paper, you saw once it's done, you need to put it in the oven. The reason you're putting it in the oven is it actually sets the ink into the plate, and that makes it so that it can not bleed out when you put matzah or matzah covers on. It keeps it permanent. So don't preheat your oven. Set it for 350. Put it right in immediately. Close the door. Let it bake for 30 minutes, and then turn off the heat. Let it cool down for about another 15 minutes, and then you're good to go. By the way, this works with any kind of plate you want to use or any sort of design you want, but I chose matzah. Now, if you're already going to the store to get ceramic plates, here's a little heads up. Next week, we're also going to be using a plate as well. So get to, if you're going to keep going with me, to do next week's project as well. So now you're going, Beth, coronavirus, I can't get to the dollar store. Totally understand. So if this isn't an option for you, if you have a paper plate, like Chinette or a recycle paper plate that is kind of got a rough feel to it, doesn't have that wax texture on it, Sharpies work on those just fine, and you don't need to bake them. If all you have is a paper plate that has a wax film on it, go with crayons. So you're making a matzah plate. That is this week's art project by Beth. And I'll see you next week. Oh, by the way, my husband Lee is going to try to put these on YouTube. Bear in mind, I am not a YouTube star, so this is our first try at it, and we'll see you next week.